Everybody, welcome back to Cids Modern Life, Season 3, Episode 83 with me, Cid. And last episode we had a little bit of a long chat, a little caving chat about, well, about the channel, about series, about plans, about, many things. And I waffled a bit, as I usually do. And it's sunset, so we should probably just quickly sleep the night away. But obviously, because I tend to, well, not obvious I suppose, but because I record ahead of myself, I haven't had a chance to see your responses for that video. So I'm going to get on and do some stuff anyway in the meantime. So you should recognise this area. This is our industrial area, and it needs a bit of TLC. We need to do some work on this path through here to the other industrial stuff over here. I haven't got my flight suit on, so no sneaky flying. And we also have a bridge over this side eventually, once we get through here, which kind of, it doesn't really work very well either, because again, this just doesn't really work as a path. When I built this, I never really realised how much I was going to do. So, before we start building over here, I have brought the spoils from my my trip to caving from last episode. And of course, this is where we have our big old processing area. This one needs just working on. And so what I wanted to do while I'm working over here, because obviously this area does kind of require, let me just grab a couple of those. In fact, let's grab 3 of those, seeing as we've got 3 spaces. And I've got a couple of, come on, let me down. Got a couple of shulker boxes here. This one has got the most in it, so we'll set this one off first. If you look at this, there's a whole load of iron, a whole load of black diamond, copper, just stuff, lots and lots of stuff. And this one has got, it's full, but it's smaller quantities, and it's smaller quantities of things which I don't really have a lot of space for. So we're going to leave that functioning in the background, because normally I have to AFK there, even though it's faster than processing it manually, it still takes a while. So what I want to do around here is pretty, well, hopefully pretty straightforward. I have got a shulker, and in that shulker I've got a few bits and pieces. I also need a build bag, and I would like one of you, I think just those for now. And what I would like to do is something along these lines. So this area here, hello, that's not what I wanted, is somewhat awkward just because of the positioning of it. And we can come out there, for example, and that can come over here quite nicely, and you get, a little T-bar going on there, and then basically kind of build that out with a little bit of this. And then we're going to take some of that. We're going to take a couple of well, we'll just take the one for now. We'll come down here underneath that. That will come down like so, and we'll just, connect that up. And there we've got a little bit of support structure without really mucking around too much with the surrounding materials. And then, just because I want this to keep this looking industrial, Okay, that's not going to play, is it? Alright, we're going to have to come up with something else than that. And I don't think I brought enough of this, but we'll give this a try anyway. So we can get a little bit of that going, and obviously I'm going to need to put these down, but I can't do that easily. I'm going to need more steel scaffolding as well. Come here, you. Gimme. So the first thing I want to do is basically I want to expand this out, so it's kind of like a gantry area that goes all the way around this edge, all the way around that edge. We'll take out a bit of this where appropriate, and basically allow me to get a better path around. That's my first plan. But first things first, I need some scaffolding, so let's go grab some. Alright, I've changed those up for these covers. There's still scaffolding, it's just scaffolding where you've changed the top thing. And I figure the easiest way to do this, for starters, I'm using netherrack as a scaffolding block, just because, well, it sticks out. It does not belong in this build at all, so that is a thing. And what we may do is also just kind of extend the odd one onto the shore there, just so it doesn't look too sticky uppy. Is that a word? It is now. And again, we'll probably stick a little bit there as well. I've got plenty of this netherrack, so let's just get in there, and maybe even there. And I think actually, no, let's go all the way to here. Does that make sense? I really don't know. This is an untested design, I think, is the way I would describe this. I don't know whether this is going to work as an idea or not, but I need to extend the ground here, and the alternative is landscaping, which, you know, is a viable alternative, don't get me wrong, but not necessarily the solution that I want to use in this instance. And I also need to have a quick snooze. Thank you. Let's have a quick snooze. So it was, yeah, I mean, as I say, I don't know whether this will be a good solution or not, but sometimes the only way to find out is to give it a try. Now from there, if I wanted to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then start at this point here perhaps, and then we could come across on that one. Going to need more of those H-beams though. Oh, man, this is going to be awkward to get back up, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't think of that one when you were planning this one out. Yeah, and obviously we need to do further around, but let me just work on this, get a few of these H-beams going, and we'll, is it that? It is that, okay. That should be more than enough of those for the time being. So yeah, I'll get these done, get some little bit of building done, and I shall bring you back in once we have a result. See you in a moment. Alright, very simple update. We've got a structure in place underneath. It's not pretty, it works. We have a slight issue, as we've said before, that this kind of doesn't work very well. And there's a reason for that. I'm just going to grab a little bit of that and a little bit of that and get rid of those for now. So what we've got going on over here is effectively a cover that's coming up just slightly up above the terrain, and I've left a few breaks out. I've put a few of these in just to give it the things. Wherever there are broken blocks, there's girders underneath so you can't fall through, but realistically this is a bit of a mess, and I'm not 100% on it, I'll be honest. But oh, no, that one. I want to get a little bit of that, bit more of that one going in there. There is a trick we can use, I think, which will help here. So I'm going to grab one of them, and a little bit of them for starters, and we're going to turn these into covers. And again, we can do more should we need to. This is, you know, not the full extent or limitations. I can't do grass because grass does not play nicely. It changes colour depending on the biome, so when you put it down it goes white, which is not ideal. But if we throw in wherever these coarse dirts are, not every single one, but just a few of them, we throw a coarse dirt cover down, it will change the terrain and make this blend in a lot better, I think. Just my thought here. I'm not 100% certain it will work the way I think it's going to, but if you don't try these things, oops, you never find out. So, and again, we don't even need to, we don't have to be right up against these. We can just throw a little bit of podzol down. Could even come in here like that, just to break this kind of raised texture back up. And I'm going to need a little bit more podzol for that, but that's fine. We'll stick a, actually, if I'm going to do that, that needs to come out, but yeah, we'll sort that in a second. I need to sleep. So again, this is just a matter of trying to blend that in a little bit. I would have liked a railing around it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that with anything I've got. I would like some lampposts I've got, and I've a couple of ideas on how to do that, but that one we're going to have to try. Let's just let me go and grab a little bit, one more podzol, two more podzol, and a little bit of coarse dirt. So by throwing in these textures and raised bumps, I'll just throw a bit of coarse dirt with one of those on top. There you go. What we effectively do is we just break up the monotony of all of this. It becomes a little bit more, I mean, you've got the annoyance of the up and downy bumpy stuff, but okay, we can live with that. This becomes a design rather than a side effect, which, hello, the only one. Which is fine. I will do another one of those though, just to get a little bit more texture thrown in, and another one of those just to get a little bit more texture thrown in. And it just means I can come in and do a little bit more of this around the place, and maybe even, you know, within, so it really does look like it's by design rather than by chance. Yeah, throw a little bit there, a little bit there, maybe one there, and hopefully this will break up and make this terrain look a little bit more natural, and just blend in a little bit better, I suppose, more importantly. So that's that. Now, I thought I had, and I don't know whether this will work. This is another little, let's see what we get out of it. We take some of you, we take some of you. And if I come out, let's see if I can come out like that. I really do need to be jumping on top of this. 2, 3, 4, 5. How will that look? It won't even work. Okay, well, that answers that then. I was going to try and make it into a lamppost, obviously. Didn't work. Can't have everything, apparently. Right. I really do need... Have I not... Let me just throw one of these down so I can get rid of a few other bits and pieces out of my inventory. Don't know why that would be there. Okay, and that and that. Right, so armed with that, we have this area done, and I think that's about as much as we can do in the area. I've got a few things I want to try planting down, but what we need to do now is think about this archway. So let me go and grab a few blocks, and I'll be back in a second. Alright, just building thing, but I thought I'd better come in and check the progress on that shulker, and that one has done. So we can get this one in place. And let that do its thing. That is finished with, so that can go away. Now I'm fairly certain there will be stuff in... Oh, actually there's only... surprising, I thought there'd be more. Only one thing in there, which is interesting. Everything else appears to be going through comfortably. We can take... Oh, you swine. I keep on forgetting about that. I need to go down here and just deposit everything in this chest here, I think is the one we... Well, I think that should work, because it'll all end up in the same place anyway. Right, yep, leave that to it. Let's go and carry on with the building. So, yeah, we're getting there steadily. I'm just kind of going with brick, stone brick for this. I don't want to get anything too fancy. We have got, let me get this right, that is going to go there. No, it's not, it's going to go there. And then we're going to throw a whole load of these bits and pieces in. Like so. And then that can come down. Actually, that went one higher, didn't it? And again, we'll prop this up and do some work on the other side in a moment. I don't think we need to get too concerned with the ins and outs of this. You know, we can come in here, for example, and backfill all of this in. We've got plenty of that, so wee bit of that going on, and then we just need to do the interior, and of course we also have all of this space to do. So yeah, the little chaos slimes are not doing so well down there. So this is a straightforward area build bit, I think. Obviously I can use normal dirt here, I think, just to we kind of just come up like that, perhaps. Then we're going to have to, yeah, we're going to have to cover this bit that's exposed for definite, and I kind of had a thought that I wanted to do something. Now I can't do that. If that's the case, I can't do that there. I'm going to have to do this at a lower level, and we'll just have to block this in. So my thoughts was, or do we need to do it at a lower level? Actually, no, I don't think we do. Let me correct that. So my thought was to throw in a glowstone block here and here, for no reason other than I wanted to. Now we could have pushed that back into the wall, and that would have made a lot more sense, but we are realistically stuck with what we got here. So we'll make the best of what we have. All of this needs to come out, and all of this needs to come out. And all of that needs to come out. And that should give me a tunnel. So I'll get this done. Then we need to work on a floor through it and obviously bring this path round. I'm probably going to need to get some of this hellbark leaf as well, because that and dead leaf, because that helps, I think. So I'll have to go and grab a bit of that, because this is very green at the moment. Yeah, let me do that. I'll be back in a sec. And like that, we have a path. I've thrown a bit more dirt and stone in at this point, just because we're going through the tunnel, and a bit of fire coral as well, just for good measure. Now, that leaves this area, and eventually what we do over here, because I think I'm going to try and build something out on stilts out this way, another factory of some description. Just not entirely sure what yet. We've probably got some work to do up there, but let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about this, which yeah, we definitely got a goodly amount of rubber there. I don't think plastic, I should say. Let's quickly check this out while we're here, because this should be about finished now, I suspect. It is, and yeah, we came out with a wee bit of stuff. Now, what I'm not seeing is a whole lot. Yeah, I suppose there is a little bit of the gems, isn't there? I could have sworn I put more than that in, though. Reading itself is intriguing. I'm going to need to go and have a look to check what's happening. It's entirely possible the filters are blocked up with a few bits and pieces, so let's go and see, shall we? Yeah, there we go. It did not know how to deal with any of these, so we definitely need to process all of that separately. I'll do it another time. It's not desperate right now. The main thing is we process the bulk of the ores there. So, yeah. What to do out here? Well, I think basically what we need to start off with is pretty much a lot more of what we did out here. Yep. Okay, a whole load of dirt to dig. Back in a bit. Alright, we are getting there. This is fully lit. You'll see that down there it's not, but up here is, and we've used, if I can find a, there, slabs, basically, from Blue Power. That allows me to light these with a bit of glowstone underneath. So, throwing a little bit down, a little bit of dead coral down to go with the dead coral blocks as well, because they do give you the nice impression of a dead tree. So what we need to do next, I think, is just go grab ourselves some wood stuff, things, hoofers, what's my jigs, some hellbark, some dead log, if I can get a few bits of fern, maybe if I've got any of this dead grass and stuff kicking around, might be useful as well. I do want to use some of those, however. Let me just go and get rid of all of this lot, because that is largely done with. So the other thing I got is the idea of these, which I thought we could scatter around the place as if they're those little path elements, and for that matter just coarse stones. Again, they give this texture which this would not ordinarily have. I need to get some dead bush as well. Lots of interesting bits and pieces just to kind of make this look a little bit more dead than it actually is, and messy, really. It seems odd trying to build something to make it look deliberately worn and old and messy, and you know, it's kind of the opposite of what we used to do in Minecraft. You always used to be about symmetry and nice builds and pretty, and then we started getting, you know, obsessed with depth. That was one of the things that actually does stop those bin ups. They're quite annoying as well. Let's just throw one of those there, one of those there. We can chuck another one there. That's it. Again, it just messes the place up. So let me go and grab some leaves, a few bits of plant material and stuff, and I shall be right back. Right, I've chucked a few hellbarky things down. I've got a few other bits and pieces. So we got, you know, things that you wouldn't necessarily associate with a polluted area. But you know, the one thing you tend to see in life is nature fighting back and saying, no, I shall survive. Now, can you plant on any of this? I don't think you can. You probably plant there. Yeah, there you go. I don't really want that. They was taking up slots in the inventory. So yeah, but we got a good amount of this to throw around, so we can chuck a wee bit of that around. I've chucked a log down there. Got a little bit of that going on. You know, it's all pretty straightforward stuff, to be honest. And obviously this is starting to look reasonably nice. We've obviously got a lot of stuff going on here, so we can throw a little bit of these in around the place as well. Doesn't have to be all dead after all. And this is a little bit more controlled than hitting everything up with bone meal, so you know, all nice. Bit of dead bush, oops. A little bit of dead bush thrown in for good measure. Again, don't go mad. Too much dead bush is gonna, you know, just ruin the place. So that's probably enough dead bush. We've got a little bit of fern. Again, throw the odd one down here and there. I'll probably come back and, well, I will bone meal a couple of these up just to make them nice and big. Maybe that one. Got a little bit of a couple of glow roses just to, again, add some colour in places where you wouldn't otherwise have it. And then we've got these Nature's Aura plants just so we can scatter in here as well. And I think we probably just about hit it. You know, we've got a good view, a good thing going on, and given the last episode was quite long, and that really could do with, let me just swap that out for a glow rose, and that will solve that lighting problem, won't it? Yes, it will. Unless I can see, oh, there's some up there. Let me just go and borrow those. I think the glow roses give off light. I seem to recall they do. Not a lot, but a little. A little is better than none at all. So, but yeah, that's a big chunk done. A big chunk of work. A big chunk of, you know, finishing. Yeah, polishing, if you like. And we can throw that in, and that will solve that. And we can naturally chuck one down here. Yeah, I mean, they give off very little light. Be much better with 118, of course. But on that note, I think we're going to call this one an episode. And yeah, I will see you next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye for now.